Hello everyone. So I'm again back with a new topic of NumPy. In a previous class, we discussed about the NumPy array, how we create the arrays using random module, and how to find the different attributes of array. For example, the name, the size of an array, the number of bytes that particular array utilize, the shape of an array, and the dimension of the array. Apart from this, we have done a bit indexing as well, that how to index one dimensional, which is quite similar to the indexing of list as well. And we talked about the two dimensional array as well, how to do indexing for two dimensional array. So we now we continue with this part. We did indexing for three dimension as well. In case you do not remember, you can check my previous video for this. So today we are going to talk about the slicing of an array, reshaping of an array, and joining, or you can say the stacking of array and splitting of particular array. Apart from this, I'll try to explain few most commonly used functions for an array. So let's start with this. First, when we say the slicing of an array, slicing is basically the indexing. How? To slice any array, we have to apply the indexing, or we have to extract a particular array, so we need to do some indexing. Let me call the array which I have created. In this file itself, we have created three arrays. Let me show you. Here are x1, x2 and x3. So let me call those arrays only. So I'll be talking about x1 array first. So just to slice this, let's say you want to extract few parts from here. So we'll be using those parentheses, these square brackets. Then let's say I want to extract it from 2 index till 6. So last range is excluded, as you all know. So it will go from second index till 5. So you can count it here, 0, 1, 2. So 2 index starts from 1 and it goes till 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will uh, basically extract this part from this x1 array. And in case you want to store it somewhere, obviously you can do that. Let's say I'm giving it a new name, new underscore x1. So let me call new underscore x1, and here it is. So you have extracted an array and you have stored it somewhere, or basically you slice that array. So this is how we can do for one dimensional. And in case you want to do the same thing for two dimensional, here as well we can do the slicing. So let's say you want to extract uh, basically first two rows. So how we'll be doing that? Like this. And we want to extract first three columns. So how we are going to do this? We have to write it something like this, and here it is. So you see, these are the first rows, and from these first rows I need first three columns. So as indexing starts from 0 and it will go till 2. So 0, 1, 2. So 4, 5, 5, then 6, 0, 8. Here it is. And you can store it to the new x2. Here it is. So basically you sliced x2 and you store it to a different location, or you can say to a different array. So here it is. And you say for this indexing, you can mention the starting point as well. And in case you don't write anything, so it will start from 0 index. Let me show you some more examples for this. Let's say x2, and I have given, I can write it 0 till 2. So it's quite similar to the previous one. And for this I can write it 0 till 3. Exactly the same output it will generate. And in case you want everything after 2, and I mean row will be after 2, or you can say it's a small array, so I'll be giving 1 row, all rows after 1 index, and all columns till 3 index. So the syntax would be something like this. And let me validate it. X2 is here, and you see the row part starts from 1 till the all rows. So you see 0 1 1 starts from here, so it will capture this highlighted part. And then for the column we have mentioned 0 till 3, so 0 1 2 3, 3 is excluded, so it will go till this part. So 6 0 8 7 4 8, here it is. And you can apply some more first and last range, and you can make some modifications as well. So here it is for two indexing. So for indexing of two dimensional array, we always remember we need to separate it from comma. Everything which comes before comma will be representing rows, and anything which comes after comma will be representing a column. So this way you can do the indexing for two dimensional array. Now let's talk about x3, which is a three dimensional array. So to do the slicing or extracting of a particular part from this array, first we need to uh, let this code know that for which array you want to do such operation. So to do this, first we need to let this know the index of the array. As we have three arrays here, so let's say we want to do indexing for the third one. So the index for third array will be 2, 0 1 2. And then we go to the rows parts, at for which row you want to do such operation. So let's say I want for example, let's say I want these two rows. So how we are going to do indexing for these? 0 1 2 means 1 and 2 index we will be needing, so we can write it like this: from 0 till 3. No, we need this part, so we'll be writing from 1, right? So these are the rows, and let's say we need 0 6 0 2, this part, not the entire one. We'll remove that 1 and 8. So to do this, what I need 0 and 1 index column, so I'll be writing 0 till 2. So let me run this. It's okay, like this will be for x3, not for x2, because x2 is a two dimensional array. So I have given the basically two index, not the entire one. So this is the two index, which is the third array. You see from upper 0 1 2. So this array, and into this array let me move to the row part. This one is the row part, 1 2 3. So 1, which starts from this second row, 2 and 3 is excluded, so it will take the middle two rows, these two, for the row 1. Now we move to the column part, so we need 0 till 2 index for column. So 0 starts from here, 1 and 2 is excluded, so it will take 0 6 0 2, and you can store it to a different location. And this way you have done the extraction, or you can say the slicing of a array, and you store it to a different location. Here it is. So you can apply indexing the similar way we did for two dimensional here, but first we need to mention the array. Let's say you want to do certain operation or extracting from this array. So first we need to mention the index for this array, which will be 0, and for this array the index will be 1. So the syntax would be 1 comma and the row part and then the column part. I believe it's clear to you. So this is basically we do for slicing. Now let's move to the different topic, which is reshaping of any array. So to do reshaping, we have a predefined function here in NumPy, arange. Arange basically is you can say the array range. So let's say you remember in core Python we used to have a function range. So let's say in case we need to generate a particular list or a sequence, something like this. So we used to write like this, and we used to write a list function to store that value. So that output we used to display something like this. And in case the same thing we want to do in NumPy, so we'll be writing like this, and here it is. So it will be a one dimensional array, and it will start from 0 and goes till 5. And for this numpy.arrange, in case we are going to pass these two arguments, so we can write it, let's say 2 and 10. It will start from 2 index and will go till 9. Here it is. And for the three arguments, exactly the similar that we used to do with range function in core Python. So 2 comma 10, and 2 is basically the interval. It will start from 2, goes till 9, and will take 2 steps from first point to reach to the destination. 2 till 9, 2, then 2 plus 2 4, then plus 2 6, then 2, something like this. In case you increase this interval, so this one decrease the values, something like this. So this is basically the arrange do. Let's say you have created any array with the arrange function. Now let's say we want to reshape that array that is in one dimension, but we want to do, or we want to create a two-dimensional array using np.arrange function. Let's say any sequence you have created, and you want to change it to a different dimension. So let me showcase you how we can do it. Let's say for example, I'm giving it a new name, new, let's say, and using numpy arrange, I have created an array which starts from 2, goes till 10. So there, how many records are there in total to this new? Basically 8, which starts from 2 and goes till 9, and if you count, there are total 8 records. So to convert the shape of these 8 records, how we are going to use a reshape function here. To reshape 8 records, what we can do, we can basically use their 4 rows and 2 columns. We need the multiples of these total records only, and apart from this we can do 2 rows 4 columns as well. Let me copy and paste it here, and let me give it a new name, new one, and here it is. So we can write it, we can reshape it this way as well, 2 rows 4 columns. So basically first new was a one dimensional array, and using a reshape function we have converted to a two dimensional array. But one thing that you need to remember here, that should be a multiple of those records which we are creating using arrange function. In case you reshaping it into 2 by 5, or let's say 3 by 4, so it will give you an error. Error means you cannot reshape an array of size 8 into 3 by 4. To reshape into 3 by 4, we need at least 12 elements, right? Clear? So you have to be careful for this part. And the same thing you can do for reshaping in 3 dimension. To have a 3 dimension array, we just need to count the total records that we have generated from arrange. Then we are going to reshape those. I believe you can do it like this. So this is basically the reshaping of an array. Now we move to the different topic, which is joining and stacking of an array. So for example, we have, let's say, two arrays, and we want to stack, or you can say join those two arrays all together. So first let me create the array. Let me create some one dimensional array. I'm giving it a new name, for example, simple x, and np.array we can create, and we can pass some values to this, and then the same way I can create y as well, np dot array, and then we have passed few values to this as well, right? So we have these two arrays all together. Now I want to concatenate these two arrays. They are different. Let's say x is here and y is here, and I want to combine or concatenate these two arrays all together. So how we can write this syntax? I can simply do np dot concatenate, and I need to pass in list parenthesis the name of my arrays which I want to concatenate. So let me run this, and you see that these two arrays has been concatenated as one. So here we have concatenated two arrays. Can we concatenate more than two arrays as well? Let me check this part too. So I have created a new array z, and I have given some value to this We can create without np as well, or in case you want to do np, so you can do as well. Let's say np dot array, and I have given some values to this, and let me run this. Here it is. So in case I want to concatenate this, so I can concatenate this as well in the same list, and you see that we have concatenated 3 arrays altogether. So we can concatenate more than 2 arrays as well. It's up to you. And now you must have one query in your mind that here we have concatenated the same dimension. We can see that x, y, and z. These three arrays are one dimensional array. So can we concatenate three or two different dimension arrays as well? So let me create one more array. Let's see, a grid np dot array, or you can call x2 here as well. That is also a two-dimensional array. So we are going to concatenate it here, right? So how we are going to concatenate it? Let's say np dot concatenate, and we can give a name of x2. Can we concatenate x2 twice? Obviously we can. And I'll introduce few things to you here. How it has concatenated these two arrays. It has added as row. Previously in x2 we had 3 rows. Now we have concatenated x2 and then again x2. You can create a different array as well. I have just used the one that I have already created. So x2 and x2, I have twice concatenated these two arrays, and you see that earlier we used to have 3 rows, now we have 6 rows. So these two arrays has been concatenated. But for example, we want to concatenate as a column. Here it has been concatenated as a row. Let's say I want to increase the number of columns while I'll concatenate x2 to x2. So here we have 4 columns. So I just want to concatenate as a 8 column. So to do that, in NumPy we have two things. We call it access equals to 0, which is basically for row. Any operation we want to do for row is specific, and we have access equals to 1, that is for column. So you can see that np dot concatenate x2 x2, it has concatenated by default as a row. So whether you mention x2 concatenation and based on access 0 or not, because that's a default action, you see the same output is there. But in case you want to do the same thing for column, so you have to mention access equals to 1. Let me copy and paste this code to run it for column part. And here for column 1 we need to mention access equals to 1. So you see the difference of the output. Previously it was concatenated as a row. So we used to have 3 rows, and then 3 rows of x2, so it was total 6 rows. Here we have concatenated as a column. So previously we had 4 columns, now we had total 8 columns. So it's up to you how you want to concatenate any array, basically. So you for example, you have to mention, or you want to concatenate as a column or as a row, so you need to mention that part. For row 1 it is the default option, you need not to mention access equals to 0, it will by default concatenate as a row only. But in case you want to perform this operation for a column, you have to mention access equals to 1. So access 0 and 1 not only for the concatenation, any operation you want to perform uh, for let's say for row basic or for a column purpose, you have to mention access 0 or 1, right? So one thing you need to remember for the concatenation part, yes, we can do the concatenation for one dimensional as well and for two dimensional as well. But in case you want to concatenate two different dimension altogether, we can't do that for concatenate part. I mean, for mixed dimensions we have to use stacking. So here stacking comes into the picture. So let's say you want to concatenate x1 and x2. X1 is a one dimensional and x2 is a two dimensional, so you cannot concatenate that this way, but using stacking, yes, we can do that. So let me try it, the stacking part as well. For the stacking one, we have two options altogether, or you can say the two function. One is the vstack. Vstack, basically, as name says, this will work for vertical stacking, and we have hstack. It will work for horizontal stacking. So uh, let's have some example for stacking too. Let's say we have array x1, which is one dimensional, and we have array x2, which is a two dimensional. So you need not to confuse with this part. Now I want to stack x1 and x2. How I'll be doing this? Np dot, for example, I want to do v stack. To do the v stacking, we have to pass these two arrays x1 and x2, and here it is. Why it has given array, sorry, the error, let me explain you that part as well. I'll showcase you. To do the concatenation, the array dimension should be exact similar. How it has given this error, let me showcase you. In x1 total number of records we have 6 7 8, and in x2 we have total number of records, basically the 3 rows and 4 columns. So to do the concatenation, or no, not the concatenation, to do the stacking, let's say you want to stack it vertically, so you should have the exact 4 columns to stack as vertically. You cannot stack 7 records to 4. I believe it's clear to you. In x1 we have, let me call x1 here. In x1 we have a total how many records? 8. And in case you want to add it as a row, so in x2 we want to add it, so in a row total how many records we have? 4. So can we add 4 into 8 records? No, we cannot. Either we have to reduce the size of this array, or we have to increase the size of this array. We cannot, or we have to insert some NaN values. We cannot add 8 records to 4 1. So let me create a new array here with 4 records. To stack it, let's say new array I have created. So np dot array, and how many records we have? We have total 3 rows, 4 columns. So I want to stack it vertically, so I need total 4 records. So let me pass these 4 records here, and now let me run it. So in place of x1, what I can pass? I can pass new underscore array. So once I'll run this, you see earlier in x2 we used to have total 3 rows. Now we have a stacked at as a vertical. So in new array we have total 4 records. That was a one dimensional array, and x2 was a two dimensional array. So we have stacked that as vertical, and now we have total 4 rows. And for example, we want to do the same thing for hstack. Can we do this? So now let's take the example of hstack as well. So to do this hstacking, let me create some arrays as well. For example, we want to stack this horizontally. To do this, let me create this array. For example, the array, let's say y1 equals to np dot array. And what is the dimension that we have for x2, for example? We have 2 dimensions, so we are going to create 2-dimensional array here. This one, and let's say let me pass any value. I have given 99, and we have total 3 records in that. So let me create that dummy array, which is y1. That's okay. Let me run this. Here it is. Okay. Now I want to stack it to a different array. For example, in x2 only, x2 is here. So I want to concatenate or stack y1 as the new column. So I'll be writing like this: np dot hstack, and then what we want to stack x2. In x2 we want to stack y1. So let me run this, and here it is. You can see that previously we had 4 columns. Now we have added one more column to this, and that column we have, that y1 array we have created. So we have concatenated that part. And you need to remember that, for example, we don't have the equal dimension or equal records. Let's remove this. For example, we have like this only. Let me close this. So this array looks like this. We have only 2 records, so we cannot stack it here. It will throw error. So it should be similar, and you can read this error. All the input array dimension except for the concatenation access must match exactly. So we have to pass one value here, and here it goes. Now you see this is, and it has been stacked. So we have to be careful to do the stacking, that the dimension or the value should be similar, then only we can stack. Now we move to the different the function. Let's say we need to do some splitting. So splitting you can try by your end, otherwise I can explain you. So the same thing will go to the splitting part, but for splitting it works for index. Try it, and in case you face any issue, I can explain you that part as well. Now let me explain you some more most commonly used things that we do on daily basis on NumPy arrays. Let's say this is the array, and for example we have to sum or any mathematical operation we want to perform on this array. So let's say I need the sum of this entire array. So how I can do this, right? So for example, I can write it x2 dot, and sum is a predefined function here. So it will count, it will sum all the records that we do have in x2. So in case you count all the records, you will get the same sum for this. And for example, we have to find out the maximum value that we have in x2. So we can simply run the max function, and it will, what is the maximum value? The maximum value is 8. That's what we can see. And the same thing we can apply for the minimum value, and you see that we will have this. So 0 was the minimum value, and for example we need to calculate the mean for this array. Yes, we can do. That's a quite handy function. Here is the mean. And in case we want to for example we need the standard deviation as well, we can do it. Apart from this, you see that while we were doing the sum of these two arrays or one array, for example the entire array, so it was adding the entire records all together. In case we want to do this sum based on the rows and columns, so you remember access will come into the picture. For the sum based on rows, we need to mention x is equals to 0. Access should be like this. And for columns, we need access equals to, I'll showcase you how we can do it. For example, let's say x2 was the array, and we need to sum it. So I'll be calling a sum function here, and in this sum function, how we want to sum up as a row. So once you run this, you see that it has added all the rows. Let me showcase you, and you see that all the count of all the rows we will be having here. You can count it and you can check it. For the row 1, let's say first part is 17. So if we add 6 plus 4, then 7, and you see that that will be 17. And if we add this, so this is the value. If we add this, this is the value. And if we add this, this is the value. And the same thing we can do for the access 1. So how we are doing this? Access equals to 1. So it will be based on column, you can say. So the in case we see the record of all columns, and here you need not to confuse. What is row? Row basically a combination of multiple columns, right? And what is column? Let me correct it. Column as a combination of multiple rows. So in case you need a sum of all rows, so it will by default combine all the columns. And in case you need a sum of all the columns, so by default it will combine all the rows. The same thing is happening here. You see, for the x is 0, this is the arrow. So for all the rows, what we are adding? We are adding this, this, and this. And these three rows one makes one column. So you must be might confuse here that how it is adding the column. It's not adding column, it's basically giving you the sum of all the rows. And for this column part, you see, and these all rows makes one column. So that's why it has summed up something like this. Now that was the basic operations that we can do. And for example, let's say what we can yeah, there are some more handy functions that we do have in NumPy. Let's say you want to create an array that should have all the values as 0, or you can say the all the values for a particular let's say array with 3 rows and 3 columns with all zeros, let's say. So how we are creating? So this has given us a handy function which is zeros, so we can create that. Let me show you. Zeros function is there. So how we can write it? Np dot zeros, and here we can mention how many rows and how many columns you needed. And np dot zeros should be, we can write it. Let me pass one value, then I will show be confirmed for this. Yes. So here I have given, and I have to pass one more parenthesis here, then it will work. Okay. So you see that we have created an array which have all zeros, and the entire value, in case you pass 2 by 2, so 2 rows 2 columns with 0. In case you pass 2 by 3, so it will give 2 rows 3 columns with the value 0. And the same thing we can do for example, in case we have to create an identity matrix. So in identity matrix we can pass something like this. I believe here we can also uh, mention that we need 2 rows 2 columns as identity matrix, and we see in identity matrix we have one as diagonal. So something like that. And let's say we want to create an array, the full array, which is 2 by 2, and let me close this, and that should be with a value 3, for example. Let me close it here, so that will be my syntax for this. So we have 2 rows 2 columns with same value, which is 3. So full is basically to create the create any array for any dimension with one fixed value, right? It's not fixed for 3, you can pass any number here. Let's say I want to create it for 5. Yes, we can do that. So here it is. So these are some handy functions. Apart from this, in NumPy, let's say you want to add any 2 arrays, so you can add array 1 plus array 2 as well, and when we can use add function as well. So it's up to you how you want to do it. You try it, and in case of any confusion, you feel free to write me. Thank you everyone. That's it for today.